In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet your very own mask. Coming up next. Hi, I'm Diette, and welcome to Turtle Creativity, where we make crafting and crocheting easy. For today's tutorial, I'm so very excited to share with you how to crochet your very own crochet mask. Now, this tutorial will utilize a pattern that my bestie found on Yarnspiration website. For this pattern, you will need the following items. You will need some red heart yarn. You will need some fabric, a measuring tape, needles, some thread, scissors, and a crochet hook. I'll be using the size H hook. Now, the crochet skills that you would need to know are chaining, slip stitch, single crochet, and a half double crochet. Let's get crocheting now. So the link for this pattern, you can find it in the description below. I'm going to go ahead and put it over to the side, and I'm going to roll up my sleeves just a tad. Okay. I'm going to start to show you how to do the beginning part of your mask using purple, and then I'm going to finish up this pattern in pink because Bestie wants her mask in pink. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you will need to do is to create a slip knot. Now you will need to chain 29 chains. Let's begin. Now that we have 29 chains, we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from your hook. In your next chain, you're going to also add another slip stitch. Now in the next 4 chains, you're going to put 1 single crochet in each of those next 4 chains. Let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to do a half double crochet in the next 16 chains. Let's do that one together. Let's do one of those together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull through. You should have 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now you're going to continue on doing that for a total of 16 half double crochets. And I'll meet you when you have done a total of 16 half double crochets. Okay, now that you have completed your 16 half double crochets, you're now going to, in the next 4 chains, do single crochet in each of the next 4 chain spaces. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. You now should have 2 chain spaces left. In the next 2 chain spaces, you're going to go ahead and put a slip stitch in each of the next 2 chains. Now, if you take a moment and stop and look at your work, you will notice that your project is beginning to curve. Let's go ahead and chain 1 and turn. Now, for our next row, we're going to repeat what we just did. However, we're going to be working in our back loops only. So, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch in the back loop only. In that second chain from the hook. So that's 1 slip stitch, back loop only. Next space, that's 2 slip stitches. Now for the next 4 spaces, we're going to do a total of 4 single crochets. Remember, you're only working in the back loops only. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, you're going to repeat that same 16 half double crochets. Remember, working only in those back loops. Yarn over, insert your hook. 3 is on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 3. Okay? Go ahead now and crochet a total of 15 half double crochets. Remember, you're only working in the back loops. I'll meet you when you're done. Now you're going to do 4 single crochets and the next 4 chain space. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the next 2 chains, you're going to put a slip stitch in each of the next 2 chains. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. Now you will be able to see that the ridges that is on our mask is beginning to form. Let's do another row together. Remember, working in the back loops only, we're going to go ahead and put a slip stitch in the second chain. Repeat that for the next chain space. Now, 4 single crochets. Remember, back loops only. Now, you're going to go ahead and crochet 16 half double crochets. I'll meet you when you're finished doing your 16 half double crochets in your back loops only. Okay, now we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now slip stitch in the next 2 chains. Slip stitch 1 and 2. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now you're going to continue crocheting, repeating this pattern, going back and forth, working in the back loops only until your mask has reached the height of 5 inches. I'll meet you once you have completed that part. Once your crochet mask has reached the height of 5 inches, you're ready for your last row. This row will include a half double crochet decrease. Let's do this together. Chain 1, turn your work, working in your back stitches only. You're going to go ahead and slip stitch in the second chain from your hook. Slip stitch now in the next one. 4 single crochets in the next 4 chain spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to half double crochet in the next 7 stitches. Now you're going to half double crochet in the next 7 chain spaces. Now we're going to do a half double crochet decrease. Yarn over, insert your hook in 1, pull through. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next chain, pull through. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5. Now you're going to half double crochet in each of the next 7 chain spaces. Now single crochet in the next 4 chain spaces. Now slip stitch in the next 2 chain spaces. Now I've already had one completed ahead of time, and this already measures 5 inches. Now, to assemble this together, this pattern gives you a few different ways in which you can assemble your mask. Now, for our way in which we're going to do in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you crochet your 4 different ends, and you're going to be able to tie it in the back. So to do our crochet ties and edging, you will need to chain a total of 59 chains. Let's do that now. Now that you have 59 chains, you're going to slip stitch in each one of these chain spaces, starting with the second chain from your hook. Now that you slip stitch in each one of your chain spaces, we're ready to add the edging across our mask. So go ahead and insert your hook in the next chain space and go ahead and slip stitch around your project. Continue on slip stitching in each of these chain spaces until you come to the end. Now you're going to repeat chaining for 59 chains. Now you're going to go ahead and repeat the slip stitches in each chain space. Remember, you're going to start in the chain second from the hook. So go ahead and add your slip stitch in each one of these chains, and I'll meet you when you get to the end. Now that you slip stitch in each one of your chain spaces, you're going to continue down your mask and slip stitch down this edging. So go ahead and insert your hook in, pull through, and continue slip stitching down. I'll meet you when you get to the end. So what you're going to do now is repeat. So chain 59 and then slip stitch in each chain. Come back down through your edge and slip stitch in each chain space. Once you get to this end, you're going to go ahead and chain 59, and then you're going to slip stitch down, and then you're going to finish your edging all the way down with slip stitches. I'll meet you when you get towards the end. Now I'm going to slip stitch my last stitch, and I'm actually going to pull through. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off my yarn. Now I'm going to go ahead and weave in my tails. Now you can use a yarn needle or you can use your crochet hook. Flipping my work over, I'm going to go ahead and use my crochet hook to pull my tails through. Now for the next part, you're going to take the template that was included in this pattern and you're going to actually cut it out of this paper. Then with the cloth that you have gathered, you're going to cut out 2 of this template. Once you've done that, you're going to grab your needle and your thread and you're going to sew that on to your crochet mask. Now, if you need a step-by-step tutorial on how to sew on your filter to your crochet mask, let me know in the comments below and I will add a part 2 to this tutorial. Now here is our finished crochet mask. I'll see you in the next one and subscribe for more.